This is the epicenter of audio frequency entertainment.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Can't get enough of it.
Oh, yeah. You guys are the best.
Heffron and Reep.
I love you, love you, love you.
The Heffron and Reep Show.
Yes, I always think there's one more video. By the way, thank you, John Heffron, Jon Reep. We do the Heffron and Reep podcast
Show.
We don't get too serious about anything. We kind of keep our opinions to ourselves. We nitpick. We find things and nitpick. If that's what type of podcast you're into, just a little distraction from whatever's going on. That's what we do. I mean, I'm noticing a trend in podcasts where it's comics talking about comics, and it seems it's exhausting. From listening to a lot of these podcasts where there seems to be a lot of drama just in the comedy world amongst comedians. I don't ever really think about other, like, right, I kind of do my shows.
Yeah.
And then I go kind of live my life. And when it's time to perform again, I kind of go on.
Yeah.
I don't overly think about other comedians enough to, except for this talk right now, I don't to talk about it.
Yeah, which was why you don't really have much drama with other comedians. I don't either.
There's a thing, though. I think there's a trend amongst comics, though. I think the younger guys, there's beefs. Remember, like when rap had a lot of cool beefs. Well, there's a lot of beefs and people.
Yeah, West Coast versus East Coast.
Yeah, and then
Biggie Smalls versus Tupac.
Yeah, and then the comics do reactions to the comics saying it's exhausting.
I haven't seen it. I don't know.
You don't look for it. I don't know how it always pops up on all my stuff. I've actually started to unfollow a lot of comedians that are friends of mine.
Oh, really? So how are you doing that? Are you unfriending them or just unfollowing them?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe it's jealousy.
Yeah, could be.
I see their tour schedule and see how it's loaded.
Right.
I'm performing every 3 years still. Not true, though. By the way, not true, because a week from now, I will not be performing. I will be performing in the Metropolis. That is, I can only say it the way you say it.
Well, give it a shot. Let's see what comes out.
Say Hickory is how I would say it if I didn't know you.
Right.
But
that technically is the way you should say it. But no one who lives here says Hickory. I mean, there's an O in there. Just no one hits it. It's just Hickory.
Hickory.
But you don't say like, oh, what kind of tree is that? I guess you would say hickory tree, not a hickory. Not many people say hickory, but you would say hickory.
I say hickory. I've Michigan people do fade this. I'm gonna fade the song down. The song is annoying me. Fading it down now. Fading it down. Michigan people, we cut out a lot of words.
Yeah, we do too.
I get rid of a lot of vowels and just a lot of Michigan people also add stuff though. You'll see that in 2 weeks or whatever the math is. When you're back in here, we add S's to things that don't belong.
Yeah.
Like there's a grocery store called it's even weird saying it this way, but it's called Meijer. But everybody says Myers or Ford's, or there's a grocery store. Farmer Jack is the name, but everyone says I'm going Farmer Jack's. The Michigan.
Well, you know why? I have a theory as to why people do that, because they do it here in Hickory too. Hickory. When you throw an S on it, I think it's like you're saying, I don't own it. It's possessed. It's a possessive thing. Like, I'm not going to my house. I'm going to Myers' house. So I'm going to Myers. No, I don't own it. Meyer owns it.
Yeah,
it's Myers. Like
I read
it's possessive.
It was somewhere, and I could be wrong, that Henry Ford. It was Henry Ford's Motor Company.
Yeah,
is what the used to be the phrase. So then when it became Ford, then people went, "Oh, it's Ford's."
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Then,
yeah.
So really, it's not incorrect, but people think that small town people are doing it because we think there's a lot of them. I don't know what I like to do is put a "the" on things that don't need a "the." Like I'm going to the Burger King.
Oh, the.
Like there's a lot of Burger Kings, but if I tell you I'm going to the Burger King, you know which one I'm talking about.
Let me ask you about Burger King since we're talking about it. One, did you ever get busy in a Burger King bathroom?
Chick-fil-A.
And second, the town that I live in, they have like the town newspaper is maybe 3 pages. And it's obituaries and then how the high school sports team did. There's literally the two opposite spectrums of life. That's what in one realtor ad and somebody won something. That's literally everyone. So they have a town, like the arrests, they have a blotter or whatever it's called, like the crimes.
Yeah.
And there was an article or a thing. There's an empty lot right by where you get on the freeway. And they're building like a little strip mall, and there's going to be a Starbucks everyone's excited about. And then they said something about a Burger King coming in there. And I have not eaten. Like, who buys? Like, I didn't know that they built new Burger Kings. That makes no sense to me.
Okay. I will say Burger King is probably my least favorite of the big burger franchises. It's one of my least favorites.
Have you ever had Burger King tenders?
Yeah. Have you had their chicken fries?
I was going to say one of them I think is one of the grossest things I've ever eaten. And I'm all for fast food. Maybe it's the chicken fries. I think are just crazy gross.
Yeah, they made it's long, skinny chicken strips in the shape of a French fry and called them chicken fries.
It's gross.
Yeah. Is that like easier for if you're driving and you're dipping them? Is it easier? Is that why they did it? Because sometimes I notice that the fries and that kind of stuff, they've made the container the shape of a cup holder because they know you're eating in your car. So you put your fries, which is it used to be like a square bottom, is now a round bottom for the cup holder, which I think is genius. But I think that was part of the chicken fries reason for existence is that it was easier to eat in your car and drive, I guess. But I mean, they've got legendary stuff. The Burger King's been around forever. I mean, the Whopper.
Yeah.
Right.
Never had one ever in my life.
Really?
Never. I only eat hamburgers with ketchup only.
Oh, that's right.
So hamburgers with stuff on it that makes it a
Burger
Whopper.
King used to be one of the best ones.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the Burger King, right? That big, he had a crown. He was the king.
Yeah.
And
commercials were a little weird.
They had, I had my birthday party, one of my childhood birthday parties at a Burger King, and all these kids would wear the paper crowns, and they give you the paper crown, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was kind of cool. But back then, there weren't a lot, or there are not as many fast food franchises as there are today. There's just so many other better fast food options that, I don't know, Burger King just kind of fell off. We have one. I rarely eat at a Burger King either. I don't think it's that good.
Did you have, did your grandparents have, I don't even know what company it was. It was either.
Talk about it. I'll figure it out.
Hardee's?
Yeah, we have Hardee's. Okay.
So 100 years ago, they used to, if you ordered a pop or like a Coke or something, and I'm hearing a hum, it's bugged me. They used to have Looney Tunes or Bugs Bunny glasses. Mm-hmm. So you'd order a large, Pepsi or Coke, and it would come in a full, like a real glass, and it would had, Coyote, Roadrunner, it would have all the characters.
Right,
and literally everybody's grandparents, when I was a kid, you'd go to their house, everybody had those glasses.
Wow.
I think you can get them on eBay and stuff. Do you remember those?
Do you think that was Burger King, Hardee's, McDonald's?
Don't know who did it, but it had to be like every time you ordered one, you got a glass that had, I bet you 1 billion people got those. And what?
I'm not recalling an exact memory of that, but I'm sure. I mean, I don't have one, but I bet they're out there. I bet we can find one at Goodwill.
Tweety Bird, like the glass, not like, you know how if you go to an improv and they sell you the drink and you get you get to bring the cup home and people have to sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how how thin
the plastic cup or the glass?
Or the glass though, but it's super thin.
Yeah.
The ones I remember were super. By the way, so we both came in. You doing your outdoor this long weekend thing. I'm a little sunburned because I'm still trying to get my yard ready for you to show up when we do shows, whatever the math is, next week or the week. The 11th and 12th at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase, in case we haven't plugged it enough. Capacity in Michigan keeps changing. So when we originally decided to do these shows together, we could only sell whatever the math was, 50, 60 tickets a show. Now it keeps changing. So buy tickets now, just so it looks like there's a lot of people in there. Because we hit the ceiling or we capped out, and then now they reopened it and we haven't really been plugging it. So Ann Arbor, the 11th and 12th, go to their website, call the club, get tickets, tell them you're excited. So I'm trying to get the yard ready, even though I don't even know if you're going to see my yard. I picked you up. We're around for like a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
We have shows. We have to drive around South Lyon. I don't know why. It's not like you're going to tour my yard like it's Downton Abbey and judge me.
I won't do that, but I will be there 2 days. So I will see it in the daytime at some point. And I am curious because you've been doing a lot of work and I want to see. I want to see what it looks like.
Trees. And that hurts me, but these trees are just big pine or Christmas trees and they look scary. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to cut them so they're all nice and fluffy. And it's overwhelming. The yard is winning where it's weed whacking, cutting trees. It's exhausting. So then I hired a landscaper.
Yep.
Because I'm on almost 2 acres.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So I hired a landscaper and the guy walked around. He's like, I'll cut that back. I'll do that. I'll bring this thing. I'll move that rock, like a really good buzz cut, basically, for the whole yard. Every tree, every weed, just clippers, number one, zip. It's going to just look super clean. The guy was working in one of the flower beds, like we were pulling weeds or by hand. And he got up and he left and he got in his truck and he drove away and never came back.
What?
I hired him. He worked for maybe 10 minutes and he just got in his truck and drove and backed out. I'm like, oh, he's going to lunch. He's going to get cigarettes. Back. He obviously wouldn't, we wouldn't figure this out and whatever. And he's obviously, and it's been 4 days. And I've called and emailed them once each because I'm not putting that much work into it, and just never called me back.
Well,
how do people do that?
Did you pay in full?
I didn't pay. So he weeded for 10 minutes for free. So then
so far he's losing.
I don't get it. So
but
then
you still want the job done.
So today, so while everyone's out having hot dogs, I got invited to go on a boat this morning. But I decided I'm not a boat guy. I don't like being on boats with people. I've just decided not even pontoon boats.
Why? Well, you got to be with the right people. You don't be trapped on a boat with people you don't like.
Yeah. And this was kind of borderline. You're like, oh, I'd see the guy who owns it. One, I have a couple things against boat guys because when I was in my 20s, I think every girl I kind of tried to date, the guy with the boat ended up hooking up with her.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like the boat guy's always like, when they roll in, they let you know that they're boat guys.
That's all they talk about. It's their boat.
It's their boat, and girls want to go on the boat. And then
they come up with boat problems and like, oh, you don't know what boat life is like, and
it's a thing. So, so I started weeding and stuff, and then I found these holes in my yard that are big enough for like a 5-year-old to climb down. They're if you're listening, they're huge. So then I had to look up what's in these holes. Are these foxholes, coyotes, or groundhogs? And they're kind of all over the yard. So they're groundhogs, and I don't know how you get rid of them. All my Michigan friends were like, you get a scope and a 22 and you sit on your porch, and then I'm like, I don't know if I just want to randomly be shooting.
You got to put dynamite like Bill Murray, right?
I got to figure that out. And then there's the kid who always rides his motorcycle around. Hopefully you'll see you'll see him.
Oh, I want to see the
the
Bad News Bear kid.
Bad News Bears. The cops were chasing him the other day, and he hid in my yard, and then he got out, and then he walked his motorcycle. He walked his bike. Right, he was looking because he's not supposed to be on the road. And then I told him, I said, why don't you just take, you can go down my driveway and just open it up. And he's got like about 100 yards until he's in at their farm. But his dad works nights, so he can't open up the motorcycle as loud as it can go, or he'll wake his dad up. So then he had a decision. Does he have police cars chase him, or does he wake up his dad? So he kind of went into the ditch and slowly, like, he hid down, and then he pushed his motorcycle the whole way home. So when I saw him yesterday, I told him, I go, you crouching and hiding, nobody's going to think a random motorcycle is just by itself. They're going to know somebody's pushing. So
look, free motorcycle.
Yeah, save yourself and don't squish that. So I started doing all that for you to get here, and then I got a hold of this other guy who's awesome, and now I have all these old branches. Literally, it looks like a huge pterodactyl bird nest.
Oh wow!
Right, old tree, and I don't know what to do with them. So he said he can get a chipper.
Yeah.
For like $500, bring the chipper, and then you just throw all the wood in there, and it turns it into mulch. And then his guys can go through the yard and cut every tree up with ladders as high as it can, weed whack, go through, whatever. So now I'm trying to decide, do I just pay somebody? Because, man.
Well, you tried that, right? It didn't work. You tried to pay somebody, didn't you?
I know.
So I don't know that sucks, dude, because there's a lot of people who don't want to work right now, and there's a lot of jobs that need to be done, and that's making me mad because we have money we want to give you. We just need a thing to be done.
They said by me, not they said by me, a lot of the McDonald's and all that type of stuff are closed, like Kentucky Fried Chicken closed. Taco Bell
all
closed.
say help wanted. Everyone I've seen.
And on the door at the KFC, you know how they share, it's Taco Bell and KFC. They're like, we don't have any chicken. We don't have any cooks. So they have no Kentucky Fried Chicken cooks. So they had to close.
I just thought of something, John.
Huh?
I just thought of something. We should do this. This is going to be a fun little video piece for me and you. Let's go apply for all these jobs. Let's show these Gen Z millennial people how it's done. Let's me and you tape ourselves going into a Burger King, a McDonald's, an Arby's, and working.
I'd work at Arby's.
Let's get a job. What's that?
I'd work at Arby's. If you had to wear a uniform, what would you rather have on your polo shirt? Arby's, McDonald's, M, Taco Bell.
So you're basing it on the uniform?
Yeah.
Is it the color or the logo?
I think, I don't know. I think working at Arby's would be the best. Taco Bell would be, I think, the worst.
Right.
Because it just seems messy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sour cream.
I mean, Chick-fil-A would be one of the best, but they don't need help, dude. They're always good. But Yeah, Arby's is good because Arby's has a great menu. There's a lot of great things at Arby's.
And it's basically roast beef in between bread. Every once in a while you put cheese, but it's the same form.
Oh, but they've got market fresh sandwiches. They've got gyros. They've got all kinds of stuff now. And I love their fries are better. I like the curly fries. So I wouldn't base it on the uniform. I would base it on what food do I like the best.
Like what you get it. I would go Arby's. I'm going to stick with Arby's.
Arby's is good. But what if we went and applied for all these jobs?
Well, here's what I thought. And maybe it's because I was out weed whacking and the sun has gotten me a little. I think I've been stung several times. Maybe not on this podcast because this is a long weekend podcast and I'm sun drained. I thought of a movie idea because I'm in other podcasts coming up. Maybe we talk about this more. I think we should try to come up with a buddy comedy or a buddy thing. Yeah. On there's podcasts before where we've talked about it. I think one we talked where we were detectives that we needed the pillow of the victim, and then we could through their dreams piece together who might have committed the crime. That was an idea we had on one of a podcast. That we had another idea that I forgot. You traveled. You're a time traveler. You did something.
Oh, well, what about drones? Right?
Oh, we had the sleep test,
sleep study.
Killing. Yeah. That was our scary one. Yeah, that we were gonna do. So seeing this, what about this as a movie? What if the local McDonald's, Arby's, Taco Bell, whatever ran out of cook? Nobody wants to work there, right? And all the old people that used to work at that store when they were teenagers, to get the team back together.
Ooh, yeah.
So then now everybody has lives. Everyone worked there when they were 15, 16, 17, 18. That was their growth. And then they went off. Now the place needs workers and everybody dusts off their hats and everyone's wearing the old uniforms. That's not even throwback. Not even uniform, the current ones.
It's like when the NFL has throwback jerseys.
Yeah. So they're wearing their throwback and then the cook guy, the cashier, everybody, and then all new relationships, all kind of get rekindled. Old loves get rekindled, and they kill it. They kill it with their speed and their old school way, right? Because they used to use mentally. They would put the fries down, and they just knew internally when the fries would come up. There wasn't electronic timers, nothing beep. It was all gut.
Yeah. Did you ever work at a fast food place?
Have I what?
Did you ever work at a fast food place? I'm trying to think if you got some personal experience in this.
No, never worked.
Okay.
I could be completely wrong.
I
think some about older.
I'm sitting here listening to you and I'm going, I'm thinking of the time that I worked at Chick-fil-A in the mall. That was one of the first jobs I had was at a Chick-fil-A in the mall. And it was all teenagers, pretty much. I mean, my manager was 5 years older than me. So it was all kids running the place, really. Right. But yes, that would be cool as hell if all the people that I worked with in that Chick-fil-A, I'm talking about Chad Bowman, I'm talking about Misty, I'm talking about, Mark, lots of these dudes that I worked with. If we got back together, because we had fun, at the mall, at the Chick-fil-A back then in the mall, like, you walk up to a counter at a food court at a place, right?
Right.
You see the cash register, you see the person, and behind them is a little bit of space, and then you see where the food is.
Right.
Nowadays, there's a window, and the kitchen's behind that. That's not what the setup was. Long story short, if you wanted a number one combo, and you're talking to the cash register, me, I would just yell, number one, and then the person behind me, obviously a foot or two behind me, hears that and just starts making the number one or whatever. But we had so much fun playing around on a slow day, like if it's on a Tuesday at 2 and no one's there.
Right.
We made up our own intercom system. Like I would put a fork in my name tag and design it so it looked like maybe a microphone. and I made like a weird headset out of a napkin or something. This is before that's what people did. By the way, unnecessary because there's not much room to begin with. And people would walk up and just kind of be like, let me just do a number 2 combo with a Diet Pepsi. I go, got that. He wants. I would pretend that it's being broadcast, and then my buddy behind me would hear that and do the same thing. So we had fun messing with people. There was a guy that would come up and always ask for extra pickles, and one day we had enough of the extra pickle guy, so we decided to, on his Chick-fil-A sandwich, instead of putting the Chick-fil-A patty, we would put 1 nugget, okay, and then 40 pickles, and we gave him that sandwich. Of course, he came back, but it was hilarious.
That is.
You like pickles, buddy?
You know what's cool about doing that type of stuff back then? He really he could ask to see your manager, but then that was it.
Yeah, and that manager, by the way, is 5 years older than me, and would laugh and go like, "I'm sorry, you want a free sandwich?"
Yeah.
It's nothing.
But don't you think that'd be a cool movie though? Like all these, I think even older than us. So even older than us. I would like
I'd see that as a good game show, reality show. Can the boomers or whatever that worked at the old, instead of Undercover Boss, this is old jobs. Yeah. And you just go back and see if you can pick it up.
Every time I worked at a grocery store from 14. I worked there illegally because you're supposed to be a certain age,
15 with a worker's permit, right?
Yeah, so I worked there maybe at 15, but man, they had me running the baler, which was this huge, scary machine where you throw cardboard boxes.
Oh yeah,
and then you'd hit this button, and this monster thing would come down, and then you get this wire and wrap it, and then you'd have to put the pallet and then pull it out. It was scary because if that wire snapped, you were done. Yeah. I weighed 70 pounds at the most. So having that on a fork and then pulling it down this ramp, put outside but I still can crush any bagger at a grocery store. No, still can crush them.
Yeah.
And bags now suck. I'm not good at plastic because I don't remember having plastic bags when I worked at the store. Mm-hmm. But a regular bag, I could crush that job.
Do you judge these guys that are doing it now?
They're horrible. They're slow. It's a thing. I literally do this move where I just want to go. This is the pace we should be moving to right now. Let's keep this. And every time I show up at a grocery store, they're doing a shift change, or she's got to count out her drawer, or they're talking about when was the last break you had, and they have a store meeting. Right. And you're standing there going,
don't you love it when they just ignore you? You can't hear the conversation. Am I supposed to? I mean, you're here and you're here. I can hear both of you, and I'm trying to get out of here with my groceries. What are you talking about? Your weekend? I can hear you. Yeah. And I'll chime in on those conversations.
Yeah.
I'll go that's a bad move. I wouldn't do it this Thursday.
I just think that maybe we'll talk about that more. So anyway,
I like it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do that movie.
I think there's something to it. I don't have the name because I was out again. I'll be clearer with the idea, but the idea came to me today. So that's it. So the yard, I'm trying to figure out. I don't know why. Again, you might not even see it. I was even going to spray for mosquitoes.
Ooh, please do.
Because
I'll pay for that.
I have this cool deck or old porch. So if we want, I don't have rocking chairs, but I do have chairs. We can just sit out there, shoot at groundhogs, wear overalls, and drink moonshine. I mean, you'll see. It's awesome, but there's a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I mean, North Carolina is buggy too, right?
Yeah, mosquitoes love me. We definitely in the summer it's humid. We spray for mosquitoes, and unfortunately, I'm sad to say that I can't really return as much of the favor for you. My yard will be nice, but the pool won't be ready. Sad to say, because just like what you were saying with the guy who trimmed your hedges for 2 seconds and left,
just does that. Just
I've been trying to get this retaining wall behind our pool put up for a long time, and people get sick. People don't want to work. They're backed up. They're doing other jobs on other properties and they can't. So like little things show up. Like one day there'll be like a stack of stone that's there ready to go. It's just been sitting there wrapped up on a pallet just in the yard. Then the next day you see a couple of guys back there with a shovel doing something. Then they're there for 2 hours and they split. So it's been piecemealed slowly over time, and it won't be done in time. And in the meantime, the pool, where the pool itself, it's not ready to go. The lining has come out from the side again, and we've not been doing anything because we're waiting for the retaining wall to be put up. We're not going to fix the pool until the retaining wall is done. And so, because that would be counterproductive, that would be backwards. But there's mosquitoes now. There's frogs, dude. I don't know what is in the pool. Is green. It is nasty.
Yeah. My house in LA had a pool, and keeping it not green was a thing.
Yeah, I remember.
It gets green and gross and swampy fast.
Yeah.
And then
you should hear the frogs, dude. I'm happy that you're going to be staying with me and my mom when you're there in Hickory.
I snore though.
You what?
I've thought about this because you said that I'm staying at your.
You snore?
I snore.
All right, I got an extra CPAP machine.
Keeping your mom up, and then I'm also I had to decide. Okay, if I'm staying at their house, do I take a sleepy help, which I normally do, and then I have to make sure I don't snack at your house, because that happened to me once when I met my sister's husband's parents. It was Thanksgiving. It was the day before Thanksgiving, and I was at their house in North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte. I don't know what city, but just for some reason we were there. I took an Ambien, and then the next morning, you know how for Thanksgiving, that's when everyone makes the sweet potato thing with marshmallows and stuff. My brother-in-law's mom was like, "Where's all the marshmallows? I heard them talking." And she's like, "I know I bought a bag." You're trying to figure out like what happened to marshmallows. And there was literally one little marshmallow every couple feet that led into the bedroom I was staying in. And then there were marshmallows in the bed and a completely eaten bag. So I was
just that's Ambien, man. I've done the same thing.
So I'm afraid to do it at your house, unless what room am I staying? Well, you might have to lock the door. Like, give me some snacks and put a chair in front of the door or cowbell just so I don't leave.
I'll put snacks in your room. Yes. By the way, I've done that very same thing in my own house many times.
All right.
I mean, even at my girlfriend's house, I've done this when I go over there. She has literally woken up the next morning, and I'm still like, I wake up later. She's like, what did you do? And I'm like, huh? And there are wrappers.
Yeah.
From the kitchen coming in there. Like, it's like I'm laying like this going,
right.
Just putting it in my mouth and just throwing it away like the wrapper. So that's okay. That behavior is acceptable at the Casa de Reep.
Okay.
But I will make sure that you have snacks in your room so that you don't do that. So you don't have to worry about it. I could put you in the room that I'm in, which has its own bathroom and a fridge. Or I could make you stay in my old room.
Your old
bedroom? Which is where my brother stays sometimes. I might do both. I'll give you the option. You're going to want a room with your own bathroom.
I don't know. Oh, we'll see. You do not have you'll have your own floor. By the time
I have my own floor?
Well, you'll have the living room, the guest bedroom, the bathroom, and the kitchen. I will be upstairs. I have a bar cart, a refrigerator. I've made my bedroom upstairs where I'm too lazy to even go down the stairs.
Yes.
There's too many nights where I'm like, I'm not getting out of bed, walking all the way down the stairs to go get water, to go get snacks. So it's almost like you're staying at a Marriott Courtyard.
Yes.
I made one of those little stores, with little bags of chips.
Yeah.
I have waters, bags of chips. I have 5-hour energies. It's all in this cool little wicker basket right next to the bed.
Perfect. I did that when I had my place in LA, Studio City. You know, it was a condo. I had an upstairs and a downstairs. So my room upstairs, I designed it, the bathroom, to look like a courtyard. I mean, I had a fridge in there. I had a coffee maker. We think alike, dude. I'll make sure that stuff's in there. That's hilarious.
Yeah, the shows are going to be fun.
Hey, can I throw something at you real quick?
Sure.
You know, I got 2 interns, and one of them's name is Elliot.
Yeah.
And he's watching us right now. Shout out, Elliot.
Yeah.
He knows we're shopping around names for our show.
Okay.
Like when we make it a TV pilot, we have to call it something. Okay. Right now, it's just me doing stand-up in your town and you're doing stand-up in my town, and we'll figure out what to call the whole thing later.
Right.
You've had some like hometown hangouts, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Stand-up comedy swap.
Right.
There's different names. But Elliot came up with a bunch of names and sent them to me.
Okay. And
I'm going to throw these out at you and tell me what you think.
All right. I put my glasses on for this.
All right. This is no particular order. By a country mile and a city block. Because you got country. I'm still going with this country mouse, city mouse theme that we kind of always had, me and you. Okay. Mostly undefeated. Okay, I agree on that one. Improvised. Oh my God, I can't even pronounce this word. Improvised incidentally. Thank you. Unmitigated and unprovoked. Okay. The healthy. Wait, hang on. The healthy alternative. No, thank you. There's 3 more if you got time.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna see if I actually like one. What button I would hit? Okay.
Oh, I see. Middle-aged toddlers. The Time Machine Tour. And I actually do kind of like this one.
Okay.
Backwoods and front porches. It just sounds cool. I don't know if it's what we're doing on this tour, but just the way it sounds, backwoods, front porches, because you have a front porch.
I have a front porch.
And you have backwoods. We have woods. Probably front and backwoods.
I'm wondering if because we're getting, in talks or not talks, or that would imply negotiating, trying to figure out what other ones we can do. Obviously, we're doing Hickory. Obviously, we're doing Ann Arbor. But there's other cities or other clubs that we can do this at. I wonder if we get too creative, nobody will know. I wonder if we just go straight up Jon Reep and John Heffron live stand-up tour sponsored by Heffron and Reep podcast. Just
don't even worry about the swapping part of it.
Oh, if we have other comics, if it's going to be a thing.
Right.
Moving
forward.
I'm obviously coming to Hickory next Monday, but if you do this with Reno Collier or somebody else, then you're going to need a name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you do, when we were at the Main Street Cellar on that Monday, from what you said, tickets are selling well, but let's say you want to keep doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you want to bring like once a month, every Monday at that place, where you kind of host it, but you're introducing your town to this thing, then that's where the name comes in.
Yeah. Comedy swap, stand-up comedy swap, hometown hangout. Y'all think of that. Leave it in the comment section.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
happy Memorial Day real quick. Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah. As to you, I think I'm going to go back to, I enjoyed this air-conditioned camper, which is actually starting, I think, in a couple weeks. I'm going to be back old school, back in my original office when we started this thing.
Oh, really?
This camper is actually going to end up on a lake.
Ooh.
Where it's going to become a camper, where it's going to become what its purpose in life was. It didn't set out to become a podcast studio to keep me out of the winter.
So are you going to be hanging out the lake then in your camper? Or are you renting it to somebody?
No, it's good. There, we bought a membership at a place where you pay per month and you can leave it, and you just got to move the spot that it's in every 2 weeks. You can't be in the same spot or something.
Really? Yeah.
That way people don't just like move there and live there forever.
Right.
But they have water hookup and sewage hookup.
Nice.
And then there's tennis courts and pickleball courts, and it's a thing. So I'm going to be back at the house, which, you know how I'm max headroom it a little because my internet there sucks and there's nothing to do about it. But yeah,
good times.
I think that's it, man.
Burgers, hot dogs. Summer is here. Let's enjoy it. Let's get your pools fixed.
Yeah.
Let's get them vacations planned. Don't forget, come see me and John Heffron do our thing June 7th in Hickory and June 11th and 12th in Ann Arbor. Tickets at johnreep.com or aa.com.
It's been fun. Both shows live are going to be fun. It's exciting. It's going to be fun. I haven't seen you perform live in years, man.
Yeah, I'm nervous. Oh, by the way, real quick before you leave, you mentioned something about trimmers. Like your yard, you compared your yard as to like head trimmers or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So do you notice anything different about my beard?
I know it's on that left side, whatever side that is, right there, you got a hole.
Yeah, I did. Rookie move, dude. I picked it up. I thought it was on 12. It was on 2. And I went, guys, oh!
I got that thing. You ever have spots on your face where nothing grows?
Yeah.
Like circle?
I know what it is. Yeah. I've seen it before.
Like, see, right there, like nothing, but it moves though. Like, I think it's some skin. I don't know why we're
interesting.
But anyway, so everybody, next week's a big week. I'll be in Hickory.
Woo-hoo.
John will be in Ann Arbor.
I'm going to drive you around in my brand new Honda.
Yeah. Most everybody watching right now, and sorry I never got to any of you, are probably sunburned. Summer's here. You've been vaccinated. It's different than last summer. So get some lawn darts, charts. Enjoy the rest of your day.
That's
Make
right.
a Long Island iced tea. And we'll see you guys or talk to you guys next week. I'm John Heffron. That's Jon Reep, and we are us. You be you. I forgot what our motto is.
Lock it in and rip the knob off. You're tuned in to the #1 show on the planet. The Heffron and Reep Show.
Since you love the Heffron and Reep Show, please go to iTunes and let them know. Rank the show and leave a comment. We don't care what you write, you know. They, Heffron and Reep, have low self-esteem. So please validate them by ranking them and making them seen. So no matter what you do,